Hello, Frank. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too, Jordan. Always lovely to do these videos with you.
Yes, absolutely. So today we have a really interesting video, and so last time we spoke about, for anybody who hasn't wasn't listening or whatever, we talked about auto buy, and we set up a trailing stop loss, and we called it actually the momentum strategy, because you can really take advantage of a positive trend that is happening in the market. Basically, you can capture upside to a point and you can also protect your downside. Now, today we want to talk about really the holy grail almost of automation, which is to put together trailing stop loss, auto buy, and auto take profit. So, if you really briefly want to talk about first, what is auto take profit? And second, and maybe more importantly, is what is the situation? What's the context in which users would want to think about setting up this trio of automations, which can sound a little bit complex, but as I said, it really the probably the holy grail of automation.
Yeah, yeah. So the auto take profit in general is, it is a little bit in the name. It automatically takes profit for you. So yeah, what it does, it withdraws a little bit of the position to like to your wallet, and thereby taking that as a profit. And it is a recurring action. So you'll see how you set it up exactly, but you'll be able to set up an auto take profit that just in regular steps takes profit out of your position. Now, in what use cases would you use this? It's part of that momentum strategy, but it would be, let's say you see an upwards momentum taking place, and you've already set up your trading stop, you've already set up your auto buy. Then at a certain point, you might not want to trigger your auto buys anymore, but you want to start taking profits. And from that point, you can turn on the auto take profit. You can also already turn it on from the start. And then, like, the nice thing is that once your auto buy stops buying, you will start taking profits. So, like, it's a set and forget strategy to use this trio basically.
Okay, so just to sort of clarify there, you mentioned, yeah, so the momentum strategy from before, but maybe digging a little bit deeper on the context of the market, like what like if I'm in the situation where I'm setting all three of these up, like what is the outlook that maybe that I have, or the situation in the market that you think is like the kind of perfect scenario for this? I think we mentioned with the momentum one that maybe the market, you feel like it just has bottomed or something, and it's going to have a strong uptrend. Like, yeah, how is it the same here? Is it different? Yeah,
It,
what do
it
you
it
think?
can be the same, but the nice thing about an auto take profit, like, it's never wrong to take profits. Like, let's be honest there. Like, you can never go wrong there.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, you as it always sucks to take profits too soon. But like, that's also how we designed the auto take profit strategy, where you continuously stay levered, but you just take off like, take it some chips off the table in regular cadences. So it can be a great combination to your momentum strategy, where you think there's a great uptrend and you want to lock in some profits as you go. But you can also think of it like in a like when you feel that the bull market is nearing an end, you can like set this one up and make sure that at least you get a couple of um, chips off before like the momentum fully dies down. Yeah, so
Oh,
that's the gist.
okay. So let's get into it. I'm very I'm pretty excited. It's
Yes,
yeah,
me
it's a good
too.
one.
Let's share my screen. So this is the position from last time. We already had the trading stop set up. As you can see right now,
Would you
the
mind
trading stop
zooming in?
price has.
Would you mind zooming in a bit,
Sure.
Frank? If you All right.
Is
So
this
this is the position
good?
from last
Or
time. Yeah, perfect, perfect.
yes, perfect. Okay, yeah, this is the position from last time where we see the trading stop is still active. It actually increased even more. So thereby, you're also protecting your profits in that regard. That like you can only win from this point out. But like trailing stop is more of a um, like if the momentum stops and it falls through your trailing stop price, whilst the take profit is taking profits when the price goes up. So, well, the trading stop is still active, and the auto buy is also still active. And the auto buy is actually active with a recurring buy order up to 4,000 ETH USDC. So what would be a great addition to this position is if we set up the take profit, and we want to take profit in ETH because we're ETH maxis. And let's say we use that same price, but actually let's do the 4001. So after
So,
it,
so what? So sorry to interrupt, Frank, but
yes,
what's going on here? Like, what are you thinking out here? So, just to recap, we've got a stop. So we got a trailing stop of 3K, I think it is right now. So if the price dumps, what is the current price? 31. So we're playing with fire a little bit. So if the
yeah,
price dumps, in the next hour or so here to 3K, we're gonna be stopped out.
yeah.
But if the price goes to 4K, that is the last price at which we're going to stop, and the next time we'll buy automatically will be 3,400, I think. So it's a very good chance that that will be perhaps our last buy
Yeah.
um, automatically. So why are you setting up a 4K minimum take profit if that is also the last price that you'd want to, almost the last price that you would want to buy at? Like if you're super bullish, why don't you set it to like 10K or something like that? Like
Well, I think it makes sense to keep your auto buy and your auto take profit in sync. Well, you can set the auto take profit much higher, obviously, but I think it makes the most sense to make sure that the price at which you start taking profit is higher than the price at which you stop buying with your auto buy. So the auto buy is set to 4K. So we want to have a minimum of your auto take profit to be slightly above the 4K. But you can also put in here 5,000, for example, or 10,000, whatever you prefer. And the first choice that you make is, well, do you want to receive the profits in USDC or in ETH? So let's use ETH and let's configure the rest. There are also some options here, so you can also just go to the current price or current price plus 50%, which would start it at 4.7 or plus 30% to just make your life a little bit easier there. So let's
yeah.
go back to the 4001. And then configure your triggered loan to value and loan to value withdrawal steps. So this might be a little bit confusing at first when you see this. So let's dive into it. What this actually means. So if you look at this graph on the left, Uh, the green line reflects your current LTV. The orange line represents your stop loss loan to value, and the red line the liquidation threshold. So you see that the stop loss loan to value is at least set up a little bit above, with like it's going from a low LTV to a high LTV. By the way, um, so uh, let's say that um, you have your trigger LTV at 47% and your LTV withdrawal step at 5%. That means that uh, initially it will just look at the 4001 minimum price. And once it has breached that, if it then also has breached your trigger LTV, it will take profit. So let's say your current LTV is at 4001 is 45%, then it will take profit and it will get you to that 52%. So you go from 47 to 52, and then it starts going up again if the price moves in your favor. And then once it again breaches the 47, it will again take 5% of your LTV, and again, and again.
So
So
this, I think that's an important point there, Frank. So if you have a so in this case you have a 4K um, uh, take profit price,
yeah,
and if it hits 4K at 45%, um, uh, like exactly like you see there, um, uh, and the LTV is 45%, but the trigger LTV is 47%. Will it execute or not?
uh, sorry, when the trigger LTV is 47%, or
Yes, and let's say the minimum take profit price is a little bit lower.
yeah.
Like they're not in sync, basically. Like
Yeah, no. So let's say this is the current price, but you set up the trigger LTV still at 47%. Then even though that it has currently breached, or it is currently at this price, uh, because your current LTV is at 52.9, it will not trigger this auto take profit because it looks at both. So both need to be valid in order for your auto take profit to be valid.
right,
So
okay.
your minimum price needs to have been breached, and then these need to hold. Um, so yeah, let's go back, and yeah, what we can see is all of the triggers, uh, like all of the upcoming triggers. Like I think we show 14 in this case. So if you're just curious, if you're just playing around with these sliders, you can see all the results of that in this table. So what it does to your position. So you see the new trigger price, the realized profit, total profit, and your stop loss. Because as you're withdrawing a little bit, uh, that means that your LTV is again also updated after your withdrawal, and because you took a little bit out, your stop loss goes to a higher price. But you need to realize that the price here is also higher. So like you um, uh, yeah, so like for example, in this case, the price has moved to 4,562, and after your withdrawal, your stop loss is at 4,309. So this is really how these really go in tandem with each other. So let's set it up. I need to switch the network to the right network. because I wasn't on Arbitrum. But now I can just set it up. So in the order we show at least your next price, the next realized profit, the trigger LTV, the LTV withdrawal step, and the max gas fee of this transaction, which is 1 cent because we're on Arbitrum, and Arbitrum is great for these kinds of positions. So let's execute that one. We just need to wait a second for it to execute.
Yes, the power of editing.
Yeah, and there we go. Uh, so it has now been set up, and you can already see it being active on the left. You can again edit it or remove it if you like. But currently, you can see that the next trigger will be at 4,120.55. You will receive about $20 of ETH. Your current profit and loss is around $108. And your profit realized to your wallet is currently zero. But once this starts triggering, you will start seeing some ETH here. So this is like a really great
Beautiful.
experience to understand how your profit taking is going.
Incredible. Lovely.
So that's it basically on how you're setting it up and what you need to think of.
Yeah. So I think this is incredible. I think we should just leave everybody with the one last thing that what this actually is if Frank, you wouldn't mind just going to the overview first
Yeah,
to say, hey, this is your position. It's very clear to see that your trailing stop is just above 3K right now. You have some profits, about 15% in profits. So if the price dumps right now, you'll be stopped out and you'll protect your capital basically. Now, if the market moves up aggressively, and if Frank, if you wouldn't mind going to the optimization tab, and switching to the auto buy, yeah, or it's
yeah,
also the bottom. But if the market moves up aggressively, you'll capture, all of the price moves up until 4K. So this price you'll buy it just under 3,500. And if the price keeps moving aggressively, let's say it goes just, Ethereum ETF is approved later today, for example, and price just rockets to 5K, you'll start taking profits incrementally right from 4K. So you'll be profiting from the upside. And even if it dumps down again, remember, you still have your trailing stop. So you'll be stopped out anyway. So it's really amazing. It's beautiful. And yeah, that's about it. And thank you everybody for listening to us.
thanks everyone for watching, and look forward to the next video. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and set up your auto take profit, because you don't want to lose those profits in the bull market, guys. See you
Amen.
later.
All right,
Nice.
that was pretty good. I didn't realize that it was the trigger LTV that trigger LTV and the minimum that were had to go
Yeah,
together.
yeah, yeah. No, they do.
Oh, it's not.